Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Warfare here on World Championship Wreckage's YouTube channel. And if you've been following us, you know all month long is going to be very special because we're going to take a slight departure from what we normally do here on Fantasy Warfare. As it is WrestleMania season, WrestleMania is upon us. We are just a mere few weeks away. And to get into the spirit of things, we are going to be building our all-time dream WrestleMania cards. That's right. So it's going to be some of the biggest and best from all different eras. It's all competed at WrestleManias will be on these cards. As you can see, we've got a heck of a show lined up here today because we have two very special guests. Up first, making their debut, I believe, here on World Championship Wreckage's YouTube channel is the one and only Light Sking Gaijin. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing fantastic, man. Hope everybody's doing well. Daily reminder to everybody, you cannot stay hydrated on nothing but Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Drink some H2O.
Yeah, some Baja Blast. Or you can also try some of the new Strawberry Lemonade Prime, available in all stores now because I want to get paid by Logan Paul, damn it. Anyways, but he's right. Mostly you should drink water. Probably not that shit. But anyways. And also join us, he is one of the residents here on World Championship Wreckage's YouTube channel. You know him, you love him from Queen's Court. He is the wrestling encyclopedia himself, one Michael MJDuplessis. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We are doing awesome. Gentlemen, I am so excited to get into this with you both because we already did one episode with Husky and Dad Hat, and it was a pretty phenomenal card. I can't wait to see what you gentlemen are bringing to the table. This is going to be fun. This is going to be awesome. And Michael, I still remember that GCW episode with you and Husky, man. Oh, baby. So I know you're going to be bringing the thunder. So, guys, let's just get right into it. First, I want to ask you, where is the dream venue for you that you want to have your WrestleMania? I think I already know Michael's answer. I got a feeling. Are you doing it in Seattle?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, if you see some of the videos I make, you know I'm also a fan of any sport team that has to do with the state of Louisiana. And I always believe that college football stadiums would be phenomenal venues for pay-per-views. Okay. So I'm taking it to the Bayou, down the Baton Rouge, Death Valley, the home of the Tigers, LSU Stadium.
Oh, okay. I like it. On the Bayou. I can dig it, man. I respect that. Had some manias, in New Orleans, but a little bit of a different flair there, and I'm here for it, man. So, Light Skin, I got to ask you, where would you host your WrestleMania card?
Well, everyone I'm pretty sure knows me being from the great state of Minnesota knows that I would love to host it here. But I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm not going to do that. WrestleMania's roots all began in New York, the great city of New York. And as much as they have seemed to phase things out of that stadium, I would love to just do it in the place where it all began in Madison Square Garden. And we don't need a big stage. I've always loved that swinging gate LED board that they've used in that arena. So, it doesn't need to be a big venue for me.
I love
MSG. To me, that's WWE. That's home to it. That's where WrestleMania was born. And that's where I feel like this dream card should actually be placed at.
It's hallowed ground. That's for sure, man. So I love, yeah.
I thought he was going to say somewhere in Japan.
Oh, yeah. You never know. Go a little international flair. I love, though, you bring up something, too, that I know for a fact we're never going to see again, but I will always miss, is a WrestleMania in, like, a smaller venue. I mean, it's totally outgrown it, and I get it, that you will never see another WrestleMania.
No, you never will. You never will. But, I mean, for this dream card, it has to take place in where it all began.
Yes, where it all began again.
Mm-hmm.
That could be your tagline.
Yes.
Well, let's just get right into your cards. And Light Skin, since it's your first time here, why don't we start with you, my friend? What is your opening contest of your WrestleMania card?
Well, for my opening contest, I figure we do things traditional with a traditional tag team match. It's kind of a clash of eras, so to speak. I've heard other people talk about it, greatness of eras, about the greatness of this generation versus that generation. We always hear talks about, which generation is better in basketball, Kobe or LeBron and Jordan. Let's just go ahead and put that whole theory to debate right here. And let's put the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, against by far one of the best tag teams of this generation, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. Let's say they finally patch things up. Let's say they finally get on the same page. They decided, hey, you my brother. Let's go out and take care of these two big oafs and show them how the oafs do.
That's not where I thought he was going to go. And
Mike, were you like me? Like, okay, it's the Dudleys. It's going to be the Dudleys.
Okay, everyone always puts the Road Warriors versus the Dudleys. That's awesome, actually.
That is amazing. It, like, well deserved too for the Usos. I mean, the Usos are going to go down as one of the all-time greatest tag teams in all of wrestling history.
Yeah,
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Full first ballot Hall of Famers, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. Dude, that is. Oh my God! If that's your opener, in the immortal words of Booker T, shucky ducky, quack quack. Okay, so I got to ask you this: who's going over in this matchup?
I say the new generation takes it because, I mean, let's be real. The LOD, they were some smashers, they were some brawlers, they were some roughnecks, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to catch two Samoans in a dark alley.
That is a fact.
Jimmy and Jay, they look here. I've met the two coming out of MSP Airport. They're some pretty big dudes, and I think they can handle a team like Hawk and Animal pretty well. So I got the Usos going over in this match.
I like it, Us.
As somebody who's grown up with a bunch of Samoans, you don't want to meet a bunch of Samoans in the dark alley. They scare people.
No.
I would just love for once to be invited to Samoan barbecue.
They're the best things in the world.
Man.
I went to a bunch in high school.
It is my dream. Great. Hey, for real, like one time somebody out of ignorance, I don't know why, but they look at me and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, are you American Samoan?" I'll admit, man, I'm as white as snow, bro. Like, you get me outside in the sun for 5 minutes, I'm a fucking lobster. But thank you for the compliment nonetheless.
Hey, I got mistaken for being Tongan, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know Blad Luck Fale.
Nice.
I would love to.
Yeah. Oh, God, the stories that man could tell.
Man.
Michael, all right, let's come back to you. Let's start with you, my friend. What's your opening contest of your WrestleMania dream card?
So, like Light Skin, I'm going to start this with a tag match. But I'm going to go with two underrated tag teams, in my opinion. One underrated because they weren't characters in a character age, but they were phenomenal wrestlers. Doug Furnas and Phil LaFawn versus world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Well, I'll be a son of a gun dang to go. That is the last matchup I would have thought of, but dude, I love that world's greatest tag team against Phil LaFawn and Doug Furnas. And if you folks, for those of you folks who don't know Doug Furnas or Phil LaFawn,
phenomenal wrestlers.
Yeah, Doug Furnas threw one of the best drop kicks I've ever seen, still to this day.
Their stuff in Japan is amazing.
Oh yeah, a former powerlifter, and Phil LaFawn, a great technician too. And by the way, they did compete at WrestleMania 13 in a four corners tag match. So yeah, nice. And of course, I mean, a lot of people probably familiar with the world's greatest tag team. I mean, come on, man. Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, phenomenal team. That's a pretty dope opener, man. All right, so I got to ask you, who's going over in this one?
World's greatest tag team.
Okay,
I love Phil and Doug, but
yeah.
Shelton and Charlie are
Yeah, yeah.
There's a reason Kurt Angle chose them personally.
Plus, you look at like Shelton's singles career too. Holy shit! I mean, come on.
I almost put him in a singles match, but that tag team is they were one of my favorites on SmackDown.
They were a good tag team, man. I love watching me some World's Greatest Tag Teams. They had some great rivalries, great matches. I always remember that one against Rey Mysterio and Kidman at one of the pay-per-views. I think it's Vengeance or something. That was a solid.
2003.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. You are the wrestling encyclopedia for a reason, my friend. All right, Michael, let's keep the momentum going. What is following that tremendous tag team opener?
My women's match. And again, another women's wrestler who doesn't get talked about. I have a lot of wrestlers who I think are super underrated and don't get talked about on this pay-per-view. I'm going to go with Bianca Belair versus Jazz.
Oh, yeah, that's some good shit right there, pal. Oh, man. Jazz does not get nearly as much love or respect as she should. First ballot Hall of Famer. There's no reason she shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Facts. And she's from New Orleans. If we're in Baton Rouge, she was going to have to be on this card.
That is a solid point, my friend. I am absolutely enamored with this matchup. This is like something I didn't even think about until you said it. It's like you got two powerhouses in their own right.
Yeah.
I mean, Bianca's a badass, but Jazz is like...
Jazz beat up men.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that, you don't want to mess with Jazz. So, is the hometown hero going to pull out the W, or is the EST going to? Going with Jazz.
Jazz.
Yeah, we got to put the hometown hero over, and I think Bianca would be more than happy to do so. So, well, Michael, a very interesting concept you're going with here. I love it. I can't wait to see what the other matches you've got on your card. But Light Skin, I'm going to come back to you, my friend. What do you got following that Usos LOD Classic?
Well, matchup number 2. I do have 2 women's matches, but I got them later on in the card, and you'll see why. My second match, I want to pit 2 people who I felt back in the day brought a specific championship to prominence, and there is rumors. I use the air quotes, for purposes. Rumors that the possibility of this championship could be coming back.
Oh,
and that, of course, is the European title.
Oh, okay.
I have been hearing rumblings online. I don't know if it's true, but if it is, so be it. But when I think of the European Championship, there are 2 names that come to mind. And the only reason why I think that is because these 2 names I don't believe ever had a match that I have seen on television. And those 2 men who I feel like have defined what the European Championship is all about, mainly because they've held it the most and the longest. And that is William Regal and D'Lo Brown.
Oh.
And you know what? Let's make it for a vacant European Championship.
Oh, damn. That's good. Like, easily. I think the 2 greatest European champions of all time. I mean, I don't know if you can argue anybody else. Maybe you say Bulldog, but I would rather say Regal over him. I mean, in my opinion, I think D'Lo is the greatest European champion of all time. But
definitely had the greatest head shake.
I think you've been recognized
now.
Man, and D'Lo made it's crazy. It's so funny how that started with him, and it was essentially just like, I think kind of put on him just because, like, okay, he's a good mid-card wrestler. Here you go. Here's a belt, but the stuff with the chest protector and just like he ran with that belt, dude. Ran with it.
He's definitely creative and definitely, when you gave him something, he eventually ran with it. The chest protector stuff, the stuff with him and Mark Henry, a lot of things that he did. And he was a mid-carder, but you definitely paid attention to the mid-card when he was definitely on it.
Hell yeah. 100%, brother. And Regal, my God, Regal, we all know and love Lord Stephen or Lord William Regal, whatever you want to call him, man. He's phenomenal technician, one of the all-time greats.
By far one of the best chain wrestlers you will ever witness on your television.
And just an incredible performer as well. Like, has, in my opinion, the greatest facial expressions of any wrestler of all time. Like, just he can communicate and do a story so well, man. Oh, God, I love me some Regal, man. So he's a man. He's a real man's man. I'll just say that.
He is a real man's man.
I literally just watched the video of them popping him by playing that song in Europe.
In Europe,
He's
yeah.
facing Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
So funny.
Good times. So who is going over and who is going to become the new European champion, my friend?
You know, as much as I would love to give it to my brother D'Lo Brown, I mean, and like we said, D'Lo is probably one of the best in the Attitude Era who ever held the European Championship. I do not think he could handle the nastiness of a true villain that is William Regal. So I'm giving the nod to Lord, the real man's man, Steven Regal, William Regal, the real man's man.
That's right.
Pinkies up.
Respect, man. I'm here for it, and I would love, man. I hope they do revive that belt. I would love that. That European title is so beloved, and it's hard to believe it's been almost 20 years out of it's been inactive. Yeah, it's crazy.
20,
crazy.
Yeah, 22 years because then
22. Yeah,
sounds
about right.
I feel like that should have been the main belt of like the whole WWE NXT UK brand. Rather than just like the United Kingdom title did look great, but it still had like the same title concept of like the WWE title.
Yeah.
You know, like give it its own brand and then give it its own championship to basically be the face of that whole brand. You know?
Yeah. No, I think that's very valid. I would have loved to have seen yeah. Now that, and I gotta be honest, I didn't know anything about the rumblings of this. So hearing this is for first time for me, and I am excited as a schoolboy on prom night. But anyways, let's keep that momentum going, my friend. What's your third matchup following this Regal D'Lo Brown Classic?
Third match here I got going on. Another tag team match. And I feel like, you know, I did say earlier that my first tag match was a Clash of Generations. If you remember, there was a tag team that had to eclipse a certain record from a tag team when it came from tag team champions. That was the New Day. All right. Now, we all know the Usos eclipsed that record, but Usos already wrestled. New Day deserves their own tag team match, too, with the number of tag team titles that they've had. Let's put them up against another generational tag team. And this tag team, of course, happens to be the ones that they were always compared with to LOD. That would be Demolition. So Axe and Smash versus the New Day.
Holy guacamole. Damn, dude. That I love every single one of these matches so far is like I never even dreamed of. And that's what I love about this show, man. You get some of the greatest like fantasy booking, man. That's dope, dude. You hit the nail on the head, like with there being so many comparisons between New Day and Demolition, like for the record and stuff. So, dude, that is freaking great. And just to clarify, we are talking Axe and Smash, right?
We are talking Axe and Smash, no Crush.
Okay.
And you know what? I figure since there would be like a third member of the New Day lingering around the ringside, let's give Demolition their old manager, Mr. Fuji, the late Mr. Fuji.
Yes. I'm here for it. So, which two New Day members?
I would say Big E, you know, given that he's healthy. Remember, this is a fantasy. So let's say we got a healthy Big E and we have Kofi. To me, I felt like those two had the most success when it came to tag teams. I figured, well, you know what? Xavier had some success too with Big E, but I felt like I did like the combination of Kofi and Big E much more than Xavier and Big E, or even Xavier and Kofi. But I mean, that's just the beauty of that whole tag team, that whole freebird rule that they like to utilize.
Facts.
You know.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, that being said, my friend, who's going over in this tag team clash?
Oh, whenever you give Xavier Francesca, he can be quite the distraction. but Mr. Fuji-san,
he's got the cane.
He's very, very sneaky. And you know what? Sometimes sneaky tactics and a little salt to the eye, axe and smash win.
Okay. Little sneaky style. That's all right. But then at the end, we all have a big bowl of fruity bowls. Or fruit. God, I can't even talk.
Bootios.
Thank you. Fruity bowl. Jeez.
Bootios. And we all stay positive.
Yeah, that's right. I like it. And let's have some pancakes too while we're at it. So, all right, man. It's pretty solid so far, Light Skin. All right, Michael, what do you got next? What's following Bianca against Jazz?
We're going to go do a little high flying.
I like it.
A one Ricochet.
Okay.
Versus a one Ultimo Dragon.
Oh, nice.
He's competed at WrestleMania.
That's right. I love Michael. 20. I love this too. Of course, classic you. You're pulling out like guys who they've only competed at like one Mania, but damn it, that counts. So, and we're not talking about Ultimo's entrance either. We're not going to talk about that. We're just no, because he was in that cruiserweight gauntlet.
Too long.
Poor Ultimo. Dude, that's once again, y'all just blow my minds with these matchups. I don't even think about or think I need in my life, and now I'm like, damn it, okay. I'm gonna have to go on to 2K and create some wrestlers or get some downloads or something. That's
community creations go off.
Yeah,
I don't know who be doing them, but they do some wonderful work.
For real, dude.
I have legitimately downloaded the whole ZZW locker room from the mid-2000s because of somebody doing it.
That's the beauty about the 2K, man.
Being able to have Trent Acid on WWE 2K24 is the greatest thing in the world.
Nice. New inductee into the Indie Hall of Fame, Trent Acid. Shout out to him. Damn, dude. Ricochet against Ultimo Dragon. I love this. Let me ask you this. Can we cheat a little? And even though he's not competed at a WrestleMania, can we get Sonny Ono in his corner?
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I think we have to. We have to. It's hard for me to imagine Ultimo Dragon without Sonny Ono. When I first saw Ultimo Dragon at First Wrestling at First Ave, he came with Sonny Ono.
Yeah.
He did.
It was great. I looked up, I was like, it's Sonny Ono. And then Ultimo Dragon comes out. And I was like, the pop that I met in a big, small concert hall like First Avenue. Like the roof almost blew off for Ultimo Dragon.
Oh, I bet.
Unbelievable.
Nice. I'm getting to actually see Ultimo Dragon for the first time compete in a couple weeks here at Squared Circle Expo 4, which I'll be at in Indianapolis. You can come see Cole TV and meet us. Meet Cole Radrick, Effie. Yeah, he's wrestling. He's wrestling in the main event at the Squared Circle Expo 4 Parade of Champions against the Squared Circle Expo champion himself, one Matt Cardona. That's right, Matt Cardona and Ultimo Dragon.
I forgot that match was announced.
Yeah,
I missed something about that on your show.
Yes.
Ultimo still he still wrestles in his promotion Dragon Gate over in Japan.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was his.
But quick shout out though. Like I say, Squared Circle Expo 4 in Indianapolis. You can catch it March 30th, March 29th, 30th. Anyways, nonetheless, who is going over in this amazing matchup, my friend?
A one Ricochet.
Yeah. I like me some Ultimo Dragon, but let's give it to Prince Puma. So I'm down with that. All right, Mike, we're coming up here. We're pretty much about halfway through your card. What are we getting at midpoint? What's following Ricochet and Ultimo?
We are gonna have a 6-man tag.
Okay.
And it is gonna be the Radicals.
Oh.
Chris Benoit, Perry Saturn, and Dean Malenko versus the New Day.
Oh shit. Okay. I see what you did there, and I like it. Interesting. And I think I know why you probably chose those 3 Radicals, because I got to feel in the 4th one's probably going to be involved in a bigger matchup on your show. But and rightfully so, by the way. Yeah, I always loved the Radicals, man. I'll never forget that moment on Raw when they showed up. And I mean, I think it was literally the week after Benoit had won the world title. in WCW, and he's literally now he's in the WWF with Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero. So Radicals
whether it be in the WWF as the Radicals or before Benoit left when they were the Revolution.
Yeah.
Those four were always. I'm also a huge fan of mid-carders, as y'all can see, and those were always my favorite. Everyone knows Eddie Guerrero's my all-time favorite, but Perry Saturn, underrated as hell.
Absolutely.
Benoit, people don't want to say his name. I'll say his name. I fucking love Benoit.
Yeah. Regardless of what happened to him, man, I'll be the first. Benoit was my guy growing up, so I love this matchup. But I gotta know who's going over.
The Radicals.
The Radicals. Okay.
And we're talking heel Radicals when they turned on Mick.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I could see that, but I still hope the New Day gets some pancakes at the end of this. It'd also be dope if they could come out of a cereal box as their entrance too. So I want to recreate that as many times as possible. Nice. I love the theme you're going with, Michael. That's something I did not think about, and I think it's a pretty cool concept. What better place to do that at than WrestleMania to give all these guys their due? All right, Light Skin, I'm coming back to you, brother. We had that tag classic with the New Day and Demolition. What is the fourth match on your card?
All right. As far as I know, I haven't used a gimmick match yet, unless we're counting tag matches as gimmick matches. Yeah. But as far as I know, they're not considered gimmick matches.
Nope.
I'm going to go with a gimmick match that I feel should have never left the format of WrestleMania. It should have always been a WrestleMania concept. And no, I'm not talking about the hardcore battle royal at WrestleMania 2000. And
I love that match.
I'm going to say WrestleMania 2000, as great of a year as 2000 was for the World Wrestling Federation.
That was a horrible WrestleMania.
Horrible WrestleMania.
Top
Backlash. The Backlash card the following month should have been WrestleMania. Okay. Let's just keep it a stack.
Well, the thing is, crazy stat on that Mania, not one singles match except for the Cat against Terry Runnels wasn't it a stink face match?
It was like a stink face match, and you had a special guest referee.
And a psychopath.
Could you even count it as a singles match now?
No.
But again, this gimmick match I'm talking about, it's the Money in the Bank ladder match. And we're going to start it out with 6 people. All right? It should only have 6. I feel like 8 causes way too much chaos. So let's go with 6. My 6 individuals in this Money in the Bank ladder match are Ricochet, Rey Mysterio,
ooh,
Dirty Dominic Mysterio,
ooh,
Rob Van Dam,
fuck,
Mr. Kennedy,
okay,
and Finn Balor.
That is an interesting 6, my friend. I have to ask, how'd you come up with those 6?
Well, immediately I was thinking of the aspect of high flying, but also the intrigue of having a couple of former winners in there, like Rob Van Dam and Mr. Kennedy. You know, and just something interesting. Like, I feel like ladder matches always seem to feature a lot of high flyers in those matches. You know, like, yeah, you get a bunch of big dudes and stuff, but there's always those big dudes that will either attempt to do something, you know, like Luke Harper's a big guy that can move. You know, I thought about putting some big guys like, nah, let me just stick with those 6 because those 6 right there intrigue me the most.
Okay. I love it. Like Ricochet and Ray, you get the high flying Dom in there with Ray.
I feel like this is going to be one of those matches with a lot of high spots, you know, and a lot of, let's just say a lot of highlight moments, you know. It may take the air out of the room for the rest of the night, but I feel like the rest of the card will make up for it.
Good. I love me a good car crash match too, man. And I think that's exactly what this would be. So who is winning your Money in the Bank?
So I thought long and hard about it. You know, we could have sent the crowd home happy, but that's too predictable. What better way than to take the air out of the arena by giving them something that they would actually despise, and that's the actual vision of Dirty Dom taking down the briefcase and winning the Money in the Bank ladder match. And just basically, and not only that, but standing over his father and letting him know, yes, I did this, not you, old man.
You know what I would love to do with like how I would do that match too with him and putting him over? That's perfect. Dominic needs to do the least amount of stuff in that match possible.
Oh yeah, exactly. He would only do certain things, but again, he would just stay in the background, kind of like that WWE format whenever you have multi-man matches. 2 people work in the ring, everybody else works outside or just kind of stays out the way.
Yeah. And then you need to, like you said, it needs to be Ray's winning it. And then that damn son of his just comes in and costs him the victory and he gets the money. I fucking love that dude. I am so here and for that. That is phenomenal, my friend. Phenomenal. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad. And you make a good point too. The Money in the Bank, it should be strictly a Mania match in my opinion as well. I mean, I understand the popularity of what it is and why it's its own pay-per-view, but it's just gotten, I think we can all agree, the luster and the magic of the Money in the Bank has long been gone. I can't even remember last time like a cash in that was really of relevancy. I mean, EO cash in was cool, but predictable, I think. I think if they had some balls, in my opinion, I don't know, either you do it at Mania or you can do it at the night after Mania, but Damian Priest needs to be cashing that fucking thing in.
I would do it the Raw after Mania.
I think it would, yeah, I think it'd make more sense if they did it that way, I think, so. But it would be badass if they did it at Mania. So
that's how they should end Raw. Him with the belt.
Because I mean, they haven't really had a memorable night after WrestleMania Raw in a long time. But it's we fans are spoiled too and got so many of those crazy ass moments throughout the years. But anyways, that's another discussion for another time. We're gonna keep on keeping on here, Light Skin, with your card and what's following that Money in the Bank. We've just been on this insane high and had the air sucked out of the of Madison Square Garden. What are we following that with?
We're going to go singles match here. All right. I feel like, we get everybody, calm and relaxed. Singles match. Another generational match of generation of this generation versus that, old versus new. These 2 ladies, it's my first ladies match of the night. These 2 women, I think, have been known to use lucha libre style in their wrestling, so to speak. In fact, both of these ladies have actually competed in Mexico. They've went ahead and made the wrestling abroad over to Mexico. One of them being Lita. So in this match, we will feature Lita. And of course, it wouldn't be me if I didn't feature a Joshi. Let's put in Io Sky.
Ooh. Okay. And I would say easily outside maybe the Great Muta, the 2 best moonsaults in wrestling.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Bam Bam had a great moonsault, I think.
Bam Bam, he had a great moonsault for a big guy.
Yeah. But that's dope, man. Lita against Io Sky. I mean, I know they've competed in tag matches, but have they ever competed one-on-one?
I don't think they've competed one-on-one before.
Oh, shit, dude. That's dope. I love that matchup, and I love where it's at on the card, too. Who's winning this one, man? Who's going over between Lita and Io?
Yeah, I loved Lita back in the day, back in the Attitude Era, back when she was Miss Congeniality back in ECW. But I mean, I got to give it to my Joshi, and that would be Io Sky. I feel like, she's just that much more gifted than her predecessor Lita. So I feel like the new school takes it here.
Yeah, as much as I love Lita and as great as she was, I think I think Io Sky would go over. Yeah, I think that's a solid pick. And we got a nice little mixture, I think, here too, of like some of this, the new generation, so to speak, or the current crop of wrestlers, and we're paying respects to the older generation, so it's a nice balance. You got a nice balance. I like it. Michael, let's come back to you. What's following up your Radicals New Day 6-man tag match?
A 4-way Iron Man match.
Oh, okay.
20 minutes. Eddie Guerrero versus Owen Hart versus AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins.
Damn, boy. That's some heavy hitters right there. Gosh, we only get 20 minutes though?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. You can still do a lot in 20 minutes. Shit, man. Eddie versus Owen versus AJ versus Seth. That is arguably 4 of the greatest like in-ring workers of all time. I mean, Eddie, we all know and love Eddie. I mean, Eddie's Eddie. Come on, man. And then Owen Hart, so ahead of his time, man. Like, seriously, if you folks...
Better Hart.
I love Owen Hart. I'm not going to argue with that, but I love Owen Hart. But I'm a Brett guy. But I no comment. How about that? And AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. I mean, come on, man. It's AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, man. Who's going over in this 4-way?
Oh, Eddie Guerrero is going to lie, cheat, and steal.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. How many falls does he get?
He is going to get it with 3 falls at the last second when they're all down to 2 falls each.
Oh, you know what I love about that? You could have it tied up, and then like they're all like beat the hell out of each other, and just Eddie comes out of nowhere and like pins one of them or something. Yeah.
Schoolboy.
Yeah. Or schoolboy. Yeah. Okay. There you go. I like it. All right, man. Damn, that's a good solid 4-way of 4 of the greatest workers of all time. How the hell are you following that?
We're going to go against 2 of the best heels in the business that have somewhat of family ties. Not related. But we're going to go with the legend killer, Randy Orton, versus a one Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Oh, shit. He went there. Oh, my God. So you have literally the Viper himself, Randy Orton, going up against the man who Randy's father was his heavy
bodyguard.
Yeah. Damn. And what's Cowboy Bob gonna do here? Is he gonna go with his son, or is he gonna go? Yeah, he's going with his son. Come on, man.
I feel like he would go with his son.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, that's a compelling matchup, man. There's a lot of story you can tell there. 2 of the all-time great. I mean, Orton's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, shit, come on, man. And then Piper already in the Hall of Fame, and rightfully so. Roddy Piper is one of those very few. There's only a select few folks of professional wrestlers who transcends pro wrestling into pop culture. Like you say the name Roddy Piper on the street, people are gonna know him or think of something of Piper. Yeah. That is dope, man. I love that. I am here for this matchup. Who's going over?
The legend killer.
Fair enough. Yep. Now, does he use some dastardly deeds, or he just hits an RKO out of nowhere?
His pop distracts Piper, and he hits that RKO out of nowhere.
That's fair enough. Maybe
His
Cowboy
going to hit him with the
he's going to come out with the cast. Yeah, let's do it. Hell yeah, man. I love it, man. We're picking up a lot of momentum on your card in the Bayou, my friend. But let's go back to Madison Square Garden. What do you got following that Lily and Io Sky matchup? Light Skin.
So I'm going with my last gimmick match of the night. It is going to be a triple threat last man standing match.
Ooh.
These 3 men, I feel like their careers are synonymous with each other. And for some reason, the question always seems to come up. Which one of them is the best? Who is the better member? Or who is the better person of this group? I think where everybody knows where I'm going.
I got it. So we're going to get Giant Silva against Kurgan against Golda, right?
It's not the oddities. It's
Damn
not
it.
the oddities.
Damn it.
By
Oh,
the way,
man.
I listened to the Oddities theme song like 3 times this morning.
Hey, it's a banger.
That is a good one.
Banger.
That's a good one. I'm sorry,
not the
buddy.
biggest fan of ICP, but God, does that theme song hit?
It does.
It's solid. It's solid.
But the 3 men I'm talking about, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and not Dean Ambrose, but Jon Moxley.
Oh.
That is.
Now I know Jon Moxley has not competed at WrestleMania, but Dean Ambrose has.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
It counts.
Dean Ambrose, it counts.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Dean Ambrose were to compete in this match, it really would not. It wouldn't fit him.
No.
He would probably do something goofy. If he wants to go ahead and win this match, he's got to transition back to his older persona. And his older persona
Jon Moxley
would be Jon Moxley.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, the success of all 3 of these guys, it's still mind-boggling when you think, I mean, Roman, come on. Roman's Roman. I mean, he's love him or hate him, he's going to go down as like one of the all-time biggest draws and just this incredible run he's been on. And then Seth is like always evolving. It's amazing the different transitions he's had and one of the greatest in-ring workers. And since Mox left WWE, look what all he's done outside of WWE, man. He's built up this incredible resume. I mean, he's arguably been the face of the competition in AEW. It just makes perfect sense. And of course, we all know the correlation between these 3 being a part of the Shield. So, and we never really got, like, I know they did it at Battleground, I think it was, but we never really truly got like a good triple threat between these 3 guys like we deserve.
We really didn't. And I would even argue the point that Moxley, I think, has carried the AEW banner, not just in AEW, but when he goes over to different promotions like New Japan to compete in competitions like the G1, or he goes over and does stuff for New Japan, or even does stuff for CZW and all these other promotions that he's allowed to go over and do thanks to his contract with AEW.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, to those people who are out there complaining, oh, Mercedes should have went back to WWE. It was the contract that what Mercedes was offered. That's reason why she signed with AEW. It wasn't just the money. It was the possibility of going over to wrestle in different promotions, the possibility to wrestle other people. Oh, and that other little gem where she could also have opportunities with Warner Brothers Discovery in their television and films. So,
facts.
Which
I mean, what would you do?
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer, but I will say this, and I think the signs are starting to show already with the fact that Shayna Baszler is going to be competing against Masha Slamovich at Bloodsport. I think WWE in the future, I think you're going to start seeing more and more leniency towards that.
Oh, way more.
That's positive. That's a positive for professional wrestling and wrestling fans. But nonetheless, I absolutely love this 3-way, and I'm amazed if this isn't your main event. Like, I can't wait to see what your main event's going to be, but I got to ask, of course, who's going over in this 3-way last man standing? Who's going to be the last man standing?
I feel like the last man standing should be very fitting of one's personality. That would be Mox. Oh. I give it to Mox because even though he's always the first to bleed, he's always the last guy you always have to try and put down, and that is a much difficult task to do than say.
And I think too, if you go back and look at the history of the Shield, who's the first real guy that kind of came across as like the star of that group? It was Mox.
It was.
Mox was the first one people were like, oh, okay, like they didn't really have a leader, but if they did, I could see it kind of being Mox,
I think they were trying to make Seth, kind of the leader, but when you look at it, the most like the one that really popped out the most was Mox. It was Dean. He was the one who had a lot of the personality of the group.
Yeah.
Especially when Michael Cole's sitting there doing the interview, what they first did is like, were you hired by CM Punk? Nope.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
That meme lives on forever.
Yes.
And forever ever. Light Skin, this is a pretty solid card, but we are coming up to it. What in the world is going to be your semi-main event?
All right, so the semi-main event will be my women's match, my last women's match. Another generation versus generation. It will be Rhea Ripley versus Alundra Blaze.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Yeah, that would be so awesome. And Alundra Blaze, Medusa, man, arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest women's competitor. I mean, you talk about somebody ahead of their time. Like the stuff that she did in Japan, and think about all the bullshit she had to put up with in the 90s and stuff that she was fed. Some of the most ridiculous storylines. I'm looking at you, Vince Russo, you son of a bitch.
Right.
Yeah, I love me some Alundra Blaze, man. I mean, I thought too, even though like not as much competition, but I think where WWF was trying to position her in that new generation era was pretty cool to see. I mean, could they have done better with it? Oh hell yeah, they could have. But I mean, still, hey, we got Bull Nakano, which can shout out to her, new Hall of Famer this year in the 2024 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. And Alundra Blaze matches, man, dude, those was fire. So I love that. And Mommy's mommy, man. I mean, she's one of the most dominant competitors going today. I mean, what more can you say about Rhea Ripley? So who's going over between Rhea and Alundra Blaze?
Yeah, this one was very hard to judge who would go over. I mean, they're both very strong, but I give the power edge more to Rhea. And in fact, I have Rhea going over in this match. I feel like she once again, the new school, I feel like would outgrow the old school in this match.
Yeah, I think that's the solid decision there. And I think Alundra Medusa would be more than happy to do the honors, if you will. Okay, Michael, I'm throwing it back to you. We're back in the bayou. What is the semi-main event of your WrestleMania?
The semi-main event, my WrestleMania, are two people who, in their generations, picked up the Intercontinental Championship from Flanders. I'm going to have a one Gunther versus the bad guy, Razor Ramon.
Ooh, I can dig that, Chico. Holy shit. I love it. This is another one I didn't even think about that in like the lexicon of possible matches. Razor Ramon against Gunther, arguably you could say the two of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time. Damn, and just a straight up match of these two guys too. I mean, Gunther, we all know he's the ring general for a reason, but dude, Razor was a badass. Like, I love Scott Hall in all eras, but I mean, Razor Ramon though was my guy, and I think a lot of people will say that too. I mean, Razor in the WWF in that new generation era, man, that was just so.
As we go through this new generation era on Queen's Court, I wasn't around. I didn't watch wrestling during the new generation. I was very, very young. So cool, so damn good. Razor Ramon character is just phenomenal.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, you even popped my dog.
I wore my Tony Montana shirt.
I see what you're doing there, Chico.
Yeah, because that's all that is.
Yeah. So, who is going over, the bad guy or the ring general?
The ring general.
Okay.
Chops are too much to handle.
Yeah, that's just a lot, man. That's a lot. Could Razor get him in the Razor's Edge, though? I think he could.
No.
You don't think he could? All right. Yeah,
I think he could. I mean, Razor's went 6'6", didn't he?
Yeah, he's a big
Razor
man.
went 6'6", and Gunther's what, 6?
Maybe like one Razor's Edge, but it doesn't do what it needs to be done.
You're not going to stop the ring general, that's for sure. So, all right, man. It's a solid semi-main event on what has been a very unique card from the Bayou. We've seen these guys, a lot of guys get their flowers on your show, rightfully so, at WrestleMania. But here we are. It's the main event. It's the biggest show of the year. What's your main event?
My main event is another match that people are going to get thrown off by. It's my last gimmick match. It's a buried alive match.
Oh, okay.
Undertaker versus a one Aleister Black.
Well. This is another one. You got me there, my friend. Did throw me off, but in a good way. Because Aleister Black, I mean, Malachi Black, whatever you want to call him, Tommy, one of the most unique, character-driven professional wrestlers. He's phenomenal in ring, like a great technician. But really, like his dark side here, and I mean, come on, we all know the Undertaker. Undertaker is like one of the most cinematic wrestlers of all time, and a buried alive match nonetheless. So, very compelling and interesting matchup. Now, I'm going to throw this back at you. Is the Undertaker undefeated in this universe at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Oh shit! Okay, the streak is on the line. The main event. You have the Undertaker against this up-and-comer who is like now kind of the new kind of facade of the dark side, if you will, of pro wrestling in Aleister Black. It's buried alive. Who's going over?
Aleister Black.
I knew it. So Aleister Black ends the streak, which that sounds way better than Brock Lesnar ended the streak, just saying. And buries the Undertaker alive. Is this maybe ends up being the Undertaker's last match too?
Maybe.
I like it, dude. I like it. Your card is it is not what I expected in the least bit, but that's what I love about it, man. That's what I love about you, dude. This is a pretty badass card. But let's go back to Madison Square Garden, Light Skin. It's time. It's time for the main event. What's your main event?
I can just picture Mark Henry saying that right now. So I kind of got to go with my man Mike with similar things on the main event. It's not a gimmick match though. I've used my 2 gimmick matches, so we're gonna go with the Undertaker because I feel like WrestleMania without the Undertaker just wouldn't feel like WrestleMania, and it's in Madison Square Garden, so why not? I'm pretty sure he would have such an epic entrance. But so too would his opponent. Now, his opponent, he's never faced at WrestleMania. He's only had 1 match at WrestleMania. His opponent, it's been talked about for years. It's a match we've wanted to see. However, thanks to my friend Abby, apparently Vince claimed he didn't want to see it. So, Vince ain't here to determine it. I am. And so we are getting it. The
Give me what I want.
Versus Sting. I will give you what I want.
Yay. And you don't need a gimmick, Jan. I mean, it is, in my opinion, I think a lot of people agree, it is going to go down as the biggest what-if dream match in all of professional wrestling. What would have been if you had Sting against The Undertaker? And yes, they have met. You could go to the early days of WCW, Mean Mark Callis, whatever you want, but that doesn't count, damn it.
Does not match though.
We are talking the Dead Man versus Crow Sting, the Icon, the black and white face paint. We are talking this Sting, okay? We're talking about Tony Schiavone. It's Sting!
Yes. dude, that is, yeah. I mean, it's one of those dream matches that like it has to be in. I'm pretty sure that Dad had this on his card, and I think we're gonna come across it a lot too. But it's one of those matches. It had if you had the pencil or the pen, you're booking it, dude. You're booking it.
Yeah.
It's a story that writes itself. You have these.
The only reason I didn't book is because I knew multiple other people were going to book it. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's probably gonna be a repeat thing.
But that's okay. It's not a bad thing. But okay, I asked Michael this. I'm going to ask you, Light Skin. What are we getting? An undefeated Undertaker? Is the streak on the line, or has he already been defeated?
I figure like everything's been set in stone. It's just a dream match that needs to happen.
Fair enough. I like that too because it doesn't put as much pressure on Sting. It's like we just get what it should be. It's just these two iconic characters clashing. So
exactly.
And that being said, who's going over?
You know, as great as The Undertaker is and all the memorable memories we have gotten of him at WrestleMania, I would have loved to see. I think anybody would have just loved to see The Undertaker and Sting go at it. It doesn't matter who wins or who loses, but if I'm booking it, I say the icon goes over. You know, I'm just a Sting fan. That just shows how much of a Sting fan I am over The Undertaker. I mean, yes, The Undertaker is an iconic character for the WWE, but when it comes to the more iconic career, it's got to be Sting.
Well, I think you just made Dad Hat very, very happy. And he's
I'm glad
he's going to be reaching out to you to book you on other shows here on World Championship Brackets, my friend.
Facts, you just got yourself a job.
Dude.
Hey, I might need it.
But anyways, and you know what? You got a hell of a job too as a booker, my friend, as well, because this is a solid card. Both of these are solid cards. Both of these are getting my money, that's for sure. And I kudos to you, Michael. I love that concept of just the uniqueness of your WrestleMania card of being these talents, like kind of like getting their just dues, if you will. So, dude, this is hard to pick, but I got to pick one, and I have to say. It's hard. I love the idea of Aleister Black going over in that moment for him too. And Gunther and Razor is an amazing matchup. Gentlemen, you both have opened my eyes into these incredible matchups. But I got to give a slight edge just because of the opener and the main event and the Shield three-way. Light Skin, I got to go with you on this one, my friend. Kudos and congratulations to you, my friend. But both were amazing and incredible cards, my friend. Solid stuff. You're popping my dog Reggie over here. He wants to see both these pay-per-views. Excellent job, my friends. Kudos to you, gentlemen. Both are amazing cards. And in closing here, as we've come to the end here of this episode, I got to ask you guys, what are you looking most forward to this year at WrestleMania?
Mike, you want to go first?
I'm looking forward to everything except for the two main events.
I knew he was.
I'm sorry, but the Cody Romans storyline, I've got kind of sick and tired of, and The Rock being in it has got me really sick and tired of it. So pretty much every match except for those two matches.
Understand.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate from the Rock fans and the Cody fans on that. I'm gonna get.
Let them hate.
Yeah. What about
specifically the Uso versus Uso match? Jimmy and Jay are going to steal the weekend.
Oh, that's going to be dope, dude. I'm so excited for that.
You know what? I'm going to have to say this year's WrestleMania build, if I could steal a phrase from my guy Bald Bro, you guys can follow him on TikTok at Bald Bro. This build to WrestleMania feels so similar to the decision-making of the Dallas Cowboys in free agency. They didn't do jack. All right? They put all their ducks in one big pile on this Cody storyline with The Rock. you know, and I'll be the first to admit it. I have said that there's no point in trying to bring back casual fans. And you know what? Casual fans have come back to me and basically said X, Y, and Z. Well, you need the casual fans to make money. You know what happens when you bring back casual fans or you book a casual fan WrestleMania? WrestleMania 9, WrestleMania 27, but yeah, 20, the one in Atlanta. Yeah, WrestleMania 27, WrestleMania 28, and WrestleMania 29. What are those? What do three of those have in common? They all have The Rock in it. Okay.
Yep.
So y'all got what you wanted out of that, but they were poorly booked. Let's just put it like that. Let's just be honest. We're all here because of WrestleMania, the pageantry and the excitement and hopes that WrestleMania is going to be a good show. Like last year, we all didn't know what to expect, but all in all, half of it was good. At least night one, you know, that tag match with the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was phenomenal. I loved that match. But, you know, I think what I'm looking forward to most WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver.
Oh, okay.
Trick versus Mello, baby.
That is going to be a money match.
That event's going to be fire.
And I don't want to make y'all jelly, but I'm going to be there. And by the way, I'm in the fourth row behind Booker T. So, yes.
So you'll be listening to all the vernaculars go, shuck it.
And I'm going to be like, look, order me some DoorDash, bro. because I'm a big man. I got a long day ahead
like a pot of neck bone, baby.
You're gonna be listening to him put over his student, even though she's a heel. I don't understand him sometimes.
That and every time Trick's anthem comes on, to be like, "What?"
I'm excited. Yeah. Well, not that crowd though. What it's
I like it.
Out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
The fact that he got a saying from a crazy early 2000s movie over again is so great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's nice. Kudos to Book. Well, gentlemen, this has been an amazing episode, and I want to thank both of you so much for joining me here on this episode of Fantasy Warfare. But as always, we got to finish it out with a little plug-a-palooza. I'll start with you, Light Skin Gaijin. You tell us where we can find you, brother.
I mean, you can find me on all the socials at Light Skin Gaijin. I actually just started up my Next Level Connect profile. Nothing's much is on it yet, but I will be putting more stuff up on it. You can find me there at Light Skin Gaijin.
There you go.
I don't
Michael,
even know what that is.
It's something new. Shayna Hill got me
the cool
on
kid.
it.
No.
Oh, I might have to talk to her about that because I've not heard of that. MJDuplessis 1992 on TikTok and on Twitter, and then pretty much every Monday on this channel on Queen's Court with my brother Husky Harris and my sister Bree Stout.
There you go. And of course, you can catch me. You see it here in the background. You can catch me over on Cole TV as well with these two beautiful gentlemen as part of Pro Wrestling 60 every Monday, where we cover everything happening in the world of professional wrestling. And we've got some big weeks upcoming ahead here. We are going to be at the Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis. Come join us. You can come meet Cole Radrick, Allie Catch, and Effie. That's right. Bussy's going to be in the house with us on Saturday. That's Friday and Saturday, March the 29th and 30th. And I will be in Philadelphia for WrestleMania week. I'll be at all sorts of shows, everything from Stardom to Tokyo Joshi Pro to Progress Wrestling, and WrestleMania's night 1 and 2 and NXT as well. And we're going to have all sorts of amazing content coming to you.
You should try to make it to that Defy show.
If I had time, I would, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to. But if I can,
you're going to that BCW ECW show, aren't you?
I am. Yep.
You're a lucky SOB.
I am. I'm so happy. I cannot wait. And here's the cool thing: if you go over to Cole TV, you can join us for all the action. So, well, once again, gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining me here on this episode of Fantasy Warfare. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Fantasy Warfare. Everybody take care. Brush your hair. Peace.